I'm recording the video in my side. So after finish this
Okay.
meeting, I will put on the YouTube.
Okay. Good. As long as it's recording, that's and you're seeing the screen, that's fine.
Yes.
Good. So this is the login page. I'll send you the URL and the credential once the permissions are all set for you to be able to publish what you added.
Sure. Then if you don't mind, can I have a quick comment to you?
Yes,
I
sure.
need to add some guide, the way to remove the robot stamping, because there in the Drupal there is some module to see if the user is a robot or not. So could we add that module for security?
If the robot is
Yeah.
camping or
Yeah. So
not.
for example, if the access from the robot, so then if you go Google, they say, oh, you can check box, oh, I am not a robot, right?
Yes.
So you can set up the same thing in the Drupal.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. For security. Yes, I made a note and I'll ask the boys
Thank you so much.
to look into that.
Yep.
Good. So I'm going to log in. Okay. Now, what you're seeing here is the header and the footer because they're hard coded into the pages, right? This is why I tell you don't get scared. This hasn't been edited because there was no point in spending time with it. But if you click on your logo, it takes you to your website, right? To the home page. So what you as an editor, you will all have editor rights. For now, what you as an editor can do, if you go to the Manage menu, you have the most important tab as the Content one, right? And we'll go to the Content. And here you have a list of all the pages that have been created. Here you see that the admin is the author, the only author, the only one who's been creating so far. And as you see, you can edit only the tools and the articles for now, okay? Because these are the only pages that are finalized and stable, okay? So in order to add a new page, I go to Add Content, and I have the list of the contents that I'm allowed to add. Let's start with one article, for example. And you have a few mandatory fields like the title, the categories, which are the tags, right? You can add or not the featured media and the source for the image. You have the summary, the body, the authors, and then the source. So let's take an example from the current. Okay, let's take this one for example, right? I'm not sure how you will be doing this. I'm just copying here. Brendan, not sure where you are with gathering the content, if this is actually your flow, but I'm just showing you a random article from the current website, right?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So what we decide is that you guys migrate the article like blogs, right? And then we're gonna be editing
Hmm. Hmm.
because we don't have to
Right, of course.
we don't have to edit.
What
So this is case of the when we add a new blog, right?
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
But the reason I'm showing it to you, if you remember last week when we talked about migration being a big chunk of work, and we'll be doing that after the soft launch, because right now with what you have on the website for the soft launch, you don't need all of the articles, right? So you will need the last 10, 15, or how many if you have time to introduce more. But I suggest you don't waste your time with that, so that you can populate the related news widget and the carousel on the homepage, right? So this is all you need in terms of how many articles.
So
So I'm showing you the example.
based on that, so we need populate like end this article which we're gonna show for the soft launch. Is it true?
Right, exactly. So you
Oh,
either choose the last, I don't know, 10 articles that you want. If you remember here,
yeah,
we looked at the COVID-19 page
yeah.
at the blog listing,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
And we looked at those.
mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
if you want to start with those, because these are the hot topics, hot news, and you're mainly focusing on that, these are the ones that will be shown on the COVID-19 page as well,
Okay. So
right?
Brandon, are you okay with
Mhm.
that?
Yes, I can do that. Yes,
Okay.
just kind of copying and pasting the last 10,
Uh,
and then is that what you mean, or
yeah, I think
and
yeah, I think it's because
and
when we share the
and then
COVID-19, we need to when you people click the title, it goes to like the page, right? So
right,
Let,
right,
right.
yeah.
Let's take a look at the topic page. You have here latest 5, if I'm not mistaken, articles related, blog posts related to. It shares more difficultly because my screen is shared. Sorry about that.
okay, no problem.
Um, what I mean is that you won't be needing all the articles, even those related to COVID-19, right? You won't be needing
Hmm.
all of them, but rather a small selection just to show the
Hmm.
widget and the carousel on the home page, right? Oh, I'll stop showing that. Let me just.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to showing you the edit, and then we'll look at the widgets if it will load. But the point is, you'll only need to create maybe 10 maximum articles, right? Are you okay with that, Brandon?
Yes, I am.
The Lavinia, I have one
Okay.
question.
And then
Yes.
Okay, the Brandon, go ahead first.
oh no, I'm sorry. So then after the soft launch will be the migration of the bulk of them. Is that it? Or
Yes. Yes.
okay,
Yes.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, the
So no.
following the Brandon's comment, when you work importing, you might keep the Brandon's editing because he do all the editing for soft launch. So you need to only import
Keep the editing.
of the Brandon,
I
right?
think only. I think only the we can exclude them if this is what you mean. We can
Yes,
exclude the articles Brandon
yes,
already entered, right?
yes. Otherwise, he need to do it again, right?
Okay. Okay, so exclude articles. I'm taking notes as we speak, so
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
ready.
don't want to the Brandon do it again, same thing.
Yes, don't worry. If it will be the case that it's too much work to actually exclude these, then actually migrate them together. We'll take care of editing those so that Brandon doesn't double the work. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Thank you so much.
Good. So maybe I should go through the whole editing process, and then we'll take questions so that you keep let's say a compact part of the video that you can watch over. Okay.
Sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Good. Good. Then let's go back to editing an article. So we have the title, which is compulsory, of course. The categories are your tags, right? They have to be created previously in order for you to have to be able to select them here, right? So if you want to, you type the first 2 or 3 letters, and you have the ones that you can choose. But if you have new tags that are not already created and you want for this article, you have here the instruction, right? You use this add term form, and I can open it in a new tab to show you, for instance, if we want to add a new tag and use it in the article, right? And it opens directly to the form, and I'm calling it, let's say, one for India. Description is not mandatory, but here in relations, you will see the list of the existing tags that have already been created and that can be used. Right, I'm saving it, and I'll show you a bit later where you can see this list, let's say, in a more friendly way. So now, if I want to add India as well here as a tag, I already have it in the terms, right? And you can add here as many categories as you think are relevant for the article. However, I suggest that you, let's say, create a taxonomy that makes sense, right? So that you don't have to create a tag for every article, but rather you like create a map of the most important tags that you use for your articles so as to keep the coherence, right? Because you wouldn't want to have, let's say, a widget that shows related news with just one article, because the related news widget takes on the reference from the first tag you're selecting here. And according to this tag, it selects the latest articles which also have this tag. Right, so we're done tagging the article, let's say. Let's see for the featured image you have here. Let's look at it. Supposedly you have it in the media library, right? So you wouldn't have to take it from the website. But what I saw here is that this picture is really small, so it can't be used in the new editing form. Here you have some instructions that you have one file only, 1 megabyte limit, and it should be larger than 1200 per 600, right? Because otherwise you get pixels on it, and the featured image takes the whole width of the page, and it can't be used, right? And what we decided with Sunho was that for those articles where the photo cannot be, original photo, let's say, cannot be used, we would use a generic image, right, Sunho?
Yep.
Brandon, do you want me to go into showing you why this picture is too small? Maybe putting it, let me see if I can take it. Or do you take it
I mean,
out of the library directly?
I trust you on that. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I trust that it's too small.
Yes, Sunho, I can hear you.
in that case, if you go to the original source, you can find the biggest size, the bigger size.
Yes.
If you go to the
Okay, if you can do that, that's perfect. I didn't know how to
yeah,
to be
there's
honest.
a
So I just
Google Credit, there's a click. If you click the under
yes.
clicking, it bring to original photo, and then you can download it from the
Mhm.
high resolution photo.
Yeah, I did that. I thought it.
Yeah. Anyway, that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
have.
it's still not big enough.
Okay, so if we go to
Oh,
Let me
really?
just take a look.
no, there is a button, not that one. There's a button.
I tried that, but here you can't save the image because it has copyrights on it, right?
So if we click this
Uh,
one, the download button at the bottom, if you go to right bottom,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
and then you can see the
Oh, okay.
extract, download,
Good.
yeah, and download it, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes. That's good. That's a nice learning for me because I'm bad with the. Let's see if it actually gets downloaded. Can I download it even if I don't have an account? It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Good. Then just let's use this pretty picture. So I'll just show you also how to remove it.
Great.
And you go back, you change your mind, and you want to use this picture, and let's use this link as
Yeah.
the source, right?
In the left to next, there's a button called share. Uh,
Uh,
yeah,
this one.
yeah. Then you can get a yeah, that one. Copy this one.
Okay, excellent.
There's a permanent link.
And the source is it World Bank, I think, or
Okay.
Department of Foreign Affairs?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. I'll take this. Copy. Excellent. And the alternative text, I suggest you put it because in case people have low bandwidth and images don't load, they don't see an empty box, right? So I'll just put. I can even put the source name again or any title you prefer. Okay, maybe the article title or whatever. But just I recommend you don't leave it empty. I know it's work, but don't leave it empty. Okay, so that was for the featured image, and we'll look at how pretty it will show. Then you have the summary and the body, and we talked about the summary being the first paragraph, right, of the article. At the migration, we will automatically take this first paragraph if there is no summary, and I haven't seen that you used summary so far, right? I don't think you have or you do.
The Lavinia, quick question. Sorry, the quick. So the
Yes.
summary they has a link, but when you copy into the edit page, the link is gone because there is edit plain text. See,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
there should be the full text. Summary should be full text.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. Well, normally, if you think about it, summaries should be just text because it's just a brief of what the article will contain, right? But in this case, I understand your concern. Yes, I'll check how we can switch to full text if that's possible. But if not, I think we'll just put um, the text in the body, right?
Oh, I think you need to put all.
I'm copying the rest of.
Yeah, no, I think you need to copy all of them because summary.
Sorry.
I'm not sure because the summary show when you're using the summary as
Mm-hmm.
like if you show the whole list of the blog, summary is the one there. But in terms of we don't have any, I think that we need to put the whole body, not because we need to include the summary as well.
So should put the whole text,
Yes,
okay?
yes, yeah.
In this,
That's what.
you mean in this case because it has a link. So I'll delete the summary from here because you don't want to double the.
Oh, okay.
You would double the paragraph otherwise.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So you either
So
write a different summary or you
uh,
just keep without a summary. Yes.
okay, okay. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll check it out again.
Mm-hmm. I'll And then, of course, in some articles, you would have images that you would add into the body,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you have a button for that in the WYSIWYG editor, or videos, or even iframe, right? Even embeds, maybe charts or visualizations from. So you have a full WYSIWYG editor here. For adding also links and whatever you need to format your text with, right?
So
So now this one, if you don't want to keep it like this,
uh-huh.
yes,
So this one is a full text or limited HTML, the body itself.
this one is a limited HTML.
Okay. Then how they can embed
Um,
iframe?
do you,
Because iframe,
sorry?
the if you embed iframe, I'm not sure it's
Mm-hmm.
limited HTML, it's full text, full HTML. No, no,
I'm
don't worry. Yeah,
I can ask, but I'm pretty sure it's not full HTML anywhere
okay,
until now.
okay, good.
I know you want a section for tools.
Yeah,
I know you want a section for tools that can use full HTML. Mm.
that's my ambition.
So Sarah, yes. So Sarah, I'm gonna extract her name from here, right? That I'm putting her into the authors, right? Unless you want to keep this mention. If you want to
Yeah,
specifically keep this mention, you can keep it in the body,
yeah, because the this one,
but because it's at the end of.
yeah, I mean this is good to keep because they put a affiliation together. So author name and they have affiliation. So we need to put there. We need to keep that one. Yeah. You know, the author you also put the name, and then the last sentence of the body is including the affiliation to the author.
Yes, but now you
Mm-hmm.
but now you have the source box at the end of the article.
Uh-huh.
You remember, and you have the possibility of writing a description here. So you can even expand Sarah's description by adding her description here and choosing the if pre logo, or if the writer is from another organization, you can choose the logo and put the because most of your blogs are actually reblogs, republished from IFPRI, you have this originally appeared box that you can use to reference to the original article. Right? So say this article would come from IFPRI, you would be republishing it from IFPRI. You'd here add the original URL. This is not it, but I'm just adding it and say IFPRI blog, right? And you'll choose IFPRI logo. Let me go to select the logo. And you can write here more extensive description of for IFPRI since, I don't know, 2016. You get the idea. You can expand the description, because this author field, you'll see it appears on top of the article and the box appears at the bottom of the article, right? And then we have I think we're done with the elements of the article, right? We just go back and check that we have everything. Let's just save and view what we've been doing, and then you'll tell me if you have other questions. So you have the breadcrumb, the title, right? Here is the author and the date that we published the article, the picture full width with the link to the source, right? Under the name of the source, okay? And you have directly the body of the article, because having not put a summary, remember the summary was a bit larger and in bold, and because we related it and we tagged it COVID-19, we have the related blog posts widget, articles which are already existing and having been tagged with COVID-19. Here we see both tags that we used. You see, even when you copy paste into the body, it copies all the links. So you don't have to worry about that. So everything else looks like in the mock-ups that we used. And here's the box, the source box that we've talked about, where you can expand on the origin or of the article, or more on the author, sorry. Right, and here you have a link. It's not the actual article, but it's just for demonstration purposes. You can go back to IFPRI or the original article. Okay.
What happened if we quit India?
Okay.
It's not
And
active, but if you click India, you land on the article listing page filtered by this tag. Right. So let me show if my sketch will help me. Here is what happened. So you have a blog category that is activated. So you have a listing of articles, all tagged with India. Right? But since the page is not implemented, you won't have a behavior right now. Right? I'll just let this load, and I think it will load well. We go back to other questions.
If we go up to the title and then the author name, you want a little bit more space. Yeah, right now. Yeah, Sophie report then by Sarah Gustafson. If you give a little bit more space.
Here, add more space here. Sorry, I think I didn't hear that. Add more space here is what you're saying?
Maybe it's because the title is too long. Maybe if the title is not that long, there will be a little bit more space. I don't know.
I think.
Can you try?
Sorry, I think I dropped out a bit. Can you hear me?
Yes. I was saying maybe there's not much space now because the title is too long. Can you try and get rid of the third line and see what happens?
If we shorten the title, let's add it. with last two words, right? That,
Yes.
let's say, delete all these and save.
Ah, no. So there's a space issue.
You mean between the title and the author, right?
Yes, that is the concern of Sunho.
But if you remember, we resorted to this, to limiting spaces as much as possible because you wanted a lot of content above fold, so in the first screen. So putting extra spaces would actually take the picture lower and everything lower. So
I mean, it's not like you can put the padding. In CSS, you can put the padding like a 5 pixel. It's really small, but currently is already two things combine the pack together. I mean, to me, I mean, because my personal preference, but I think we need to have like a little bit, just not that, like just 2 or 3 pixels or 5 pixels.
but
Mm.
only between title and author. Here, it's okay
Yeah.
being in the same, say, category
Bettina,
of information.
Yes,
what do you think of
I
that?
agree. I agree with Sunho. Just a little bit more space, and maybe that can be handled by the formatting. Just add a little, uh, you know, 5 pixels above the author.
The padding.
Yeah. Is that?
Okay.
I wonder how that can be done.
I'm noting everything you're saying. I'm noting all your feedback, and I'll let you know what is possible in terms of, say, the time. Because what I'm concerned is that even, small changes, small buttons, they
Okay.
all add up. I mean, it's
Okay.
never
I got your point. Okay. But it
so.
just that's does the browser just change the one line on the CSS file though? Okay.
Yes, I'll make sure that everything that is quickly doable, it gets done. So don't worry. If it's a
I
quick
have
win, I'll give it to you. Yes.
I have a quick question. It might have been answered on your previous sharing of your screen, but for the publishing date, I assume is it possible to just put the date we want in there? Or
Not
Important question.
Yes, not right now. Not right now. It's the publishing date, the one that you actually added the article. But I see where you're coming because changing. Let's see. At
Mhm.
migration, I'm sure that the date will be taken into consideration as is on the website. But when you add a new article, because it's the case that you'll be going forward, right? Will you want to
Yes.
backdate the article?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
the Lavinia, you can quickly check right now. If you go to edit your the content, edit, and then go to
Now you don't have the possibility to edit the date. This is why I'm saying
okay, go down.
you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have
It's
this
not there.
author
Yeah.
author information in front here.
you don't have the date editing if you this
Oh,
is what
Normally Drupal provide that function in core.
yes I can write that down add
Okay.
a
this
date.
this is important, Lavinia.
Mhm. Okay,
I think
because you sometimes backdate or choose different
Yes. Yeah, especially for all the blogs that we will be migrating after the soft launch, we will want them to get the same dates because the dates figure in what gets presented on top of what
yeah, but
what gets
that
pictured.
will be migrated with the date they currently have, so that won't change. They won't all be dated with the migration date. What I'm asking is
Mm.
if moving forward, when you add a new blog post, you need to choose another date than the date.
I think so.
Mhm.
Sometimes we do
Okay.
that.
So
so.
editors
That's right,
should choose date
Sunho,
of
right?
publishing.
Lavinia, I strongly suggest because Drupal itself they provide that function in for
Hmm.
edit pages. When you click edit, you can change the authoring information. So and if you click author information, we can set up the date. So could you ask Radu go back bring that function back to us because it is
Yes,
hidden right now.
mhm. I noted to add date field so that editor can choose the date of publishing.
Yeah, not only edit,
Mhm.
but all the function which Drupal provide.
What do you mean by all the
Can
function?
I share my screen so I can show another Drupal 8 site?
Yes, just a second. Up. Now?
So for example, this is the another Drupal 8 site. It's very similar to what you have. So if you go with content, edit, see there has all this author information. I can change the date here.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the all this function back to us because we need to have that setting because somehow this is very important for us, especially the
Awesome.
URL layer. So could you bring the all this
Mm-hmm.
function? This is from the core Drupal.
Okay, yes. I believe that this has not been enabled so far because we don't have content on the website and we didn't want to, say, look into the things that are not priority. But yes, I can definitely go back to the boys with that.
Uh-huh.
Just node settings, right?
Yes, this all the setting should be back to us because
Node
this is
settings.
important for us.
Full. Yes, I'm sure part of the settings that are not available right now will be at the end of the project, because once we have the content, we can actually build all the, let's say, all the configurations that use the content. Right now, we just work with dummy data or mockups that we create ourselves. But yes, I noted the node settings. Hmm.
Yeah. And then,
Okay.
yeah,
Great.
it is not right now, but for further development, could you include a module from Drupal making the clone, the node? So there's a I think name is node clone something Drupal.
Okay, and how does it help you?
Yes, then you can easily clone it and easily change something and then publish. It's really easy to create new content. There are two ways create content. First from the new button, or we can clone it from the existing one, which is very easy for us to order something and then publish it quickly. So that
Okay, you'd use the same but just adjust it, change a few things,
yes,
and publish it as a new page.
yes.
Okay.
So they call I think the
Okay.
I think the rather knows that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Include clone module.
Yeah,
Okay, noted.
I
Yeah, that will be very helpful for me, the clone,
yes.
Okay,
for people
good,
who are
sure.
not developers.
Good. Yes, it's good to know. I'm noting everything you're saying. So,
When in doubt,
sorry.
nothing. Said when in doubt, clone. Anyway.
Okay, okay. Um, Good. Do you have any other questions on the article?
Um, I don't. I think it's clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure, sure, my pleasure. Then now let's just a bit. Let me check my checklist. See if I wanted to tell you other things about the article. Um, no, that's it. Just in the author, you can add multiple values, right? So you have more authors there, not just one. And the section with the originally period it's optional, right? So this section is not mandatory. Like in the case of this article, it hasn't been republished from an original post, right? Yes, one more note is that your content, what you're publishing here, will be unpublished by default. Let me see here the status of what I've just edited is unpublished by default. So You will have a box at
Okay.
the end of the article where you can tick to publish it, but just do that after you check that, you view the page and you check that you have everything there, right? Especially when you'll be doing that directly on the website. It's a good practice. Check it while it's still unpublished, and then you'll have an option when you edit. You'll have a checkbox at the end of here, right before save. You have a checkbox to mark it published. The boys are working on it right now, but I just asked them not to deploy any more changes while I'm doing demonstrations, so not just to.
Okay. They do not believe you.
No. I just I'd ask them not to change anything while I'm showing the pages to you, so not to mess up with anything. Things can can get messy at deployment, and I didn't want to ruin the pages. But it will by the time I'll give you the users, you'll have the published tick there, so you can yourself publish this one. Good. Then let's